And going back to our earlier story on South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol being impeached, we have Amritpal joining us on this. Well, Amritpal, South Korean President Yoon, after his botched martial law bid, has been finally impeached. Thousands out there on the streets. Yoon now would lose authority, though he has vowed to fight until the very last minute. Now, the big question is, what next?
Okay, what happens next is now that the lawmakers have voted, they've garnered, enough votes. 200 votes were polled for his impeachment. They needed about 200 votes, so 4 more than required. So clearly, the ruling party lawmakers have also voted. At least 12 of them have voted in favor of the impeachment. That's the People's Party. His own party has voted for his impeachment, or some lawmakers have voted for his impeachment. Now the Speaker will serve the copies of the impeachment order on President Yoon and to the court. The Constitutional Court has 180 days, Dipakshi, to decide on it, to confirm on it. There are 9 judges in the Constitutional Court, of which 2/3 majority. That means 6 judges have to vote, have to confirm his impeachment. So it looks like it's the end of the road for President Yoon. It's the people's power, the street power, also, the lawmakers, both inside and outside Parliament. There was significant anger against President Yoon, and that has led to his impeachment. He'll be suspended right away once he's once he's served the order of the Parliament. He'll be suspended. He can't take over presidential duties. The power shall be transferred to the Prime Minister. So the court has 180 days to decide. Whenever the court decides and confirms the impeachment, elections have to be called within a certain period of time of that for the new president. So that's what happens next, Dipakshi.
Right, Amrit, definitely the ball is with the court right now. How likely is it that the Constitutional Court will uphold the impeachment? And if the impeachment is upheld, what happens to the executive branch in the interim?
What the court does is what the court decides. Of course, Yoon's lawyers will present their case to the court, saying that it was unconstitutional and he acted in the interest of the country, etc. But it is for the court to decide which way they want to go. It looks like that the likelihood of the court deciding for the impeachment, confirming the impeachment of President Yoon, is more likely, unless President Yoon comes up with some kind of legal lacuna that the Parliament had. But the Parliament is well within its rights, so it's a constitutional process. So the court, follows the constitutional, will in all likelihood confirm the impeachment of President Yoon. It's just that he's trying to buy time. It looks like it's the end of the road. What happens to the executive? The Prime Minister takes over the presidents of the powers of the president and appoints ministers and runs the economy and the affairs of the country. Right now, the Speaker has called that the economy and the foreign affairs must be taken note of, and there is an emergency meeting that has been called. The opposition party has the numbers in the Parliament, so they would have a major say on who is, in running the affairs of the government. If the government does not cooperate with the lawmakers, it is clear that the stalling tactics of the opposition, which they used against President Yoon, would continue. But I think now that he has been impeached, there is a bloc in the People's Party which supports him, but there is a bloc which is anti him, and they could sit and consult the opposition and let the government function.
All right. All right. Amrit, also the crisis and the ensuing uncertainty which is there right now have shaken the financial markets and also threatened to undermine, most importantly, South Korea's reputation as a stable democratic success story. Tell us about the overall impact the crisis can have on the economy there.
Oh, the economy is in the doldrums. Politically, and now added to that the political instability. So they need to get their act together right after the impeachment. This is what the Speaker had to say, that foreign affairs and economy need to be looked at with a certain sense of emergency. So therefore, a meeting has been called where the finance and the economy and the foreign affairs minister would be present. So clearly, they need to get some kind of political stability on the ground for economy and also for the markets to get that sort of confidence and get it back on track. Economy will, of course, take a while, but if the political instability continues, it will affect the economy. Strikes will have to be stopped. People will have to go back to work. I'm sorry, streets will have to be cleared. So that is what they need to do. But there needs to be, the first thing that needs to be done is bring in some amount of political stability and let the institutions of the state run. Lipakshi.
All right, Amrit, thank you so much for all those details.